Hello everybody, I am Payne and welcome to my 100 subscriber special. Oh yeah, break it down, it's party time. Woohoo! What do you mean that was 2.5 months ago? Yeah, I guess it was, huh? Yeah, sorry about that. There's always somebody in the house and I don't feel comfortable talking to myself while recording it and doing all that stuff. It just, I don't know, it'll make everybody think I'm a lunatic. So there hasn't been much content coming from me, but hey, you've got some now. Anyways, for my 100 subscriber special, I decided to let everybody ask me up to 3 questions. Doesn't matter what the questions are, I'll answer them. And I've actually got a lot of questions, a lot more than I thought, which is why I let up to 3 questions allowed. Anyways, let's get started with TheGamesArchive, who first responded. He asks, why can't you change your hat color to beige? The reason I can't change my hat color to beige is because my hat, my blue hat, was given to me by my father, who died in a war. He was shot down by some Nazis. Dragon Nazis, there we go. Zombie dragon Nazis, even. And, you know, it's very sentimental to me, so I can't give it away. I'm not gonna dye it beige just for your pleasure. I mean, that would just be rude. I mean, the ghost of my father will probably come to haunt me if that would happen. So that's why I can't change it to beige. Anyways, that's a proper response for you, huh? Okay, second up is blah 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 7679. He says, hey, I got some decent questions. He has 3 in fact. Favorite game ever? It's very hard for me to, you know, pick just one of anything. It's like picking your favorite child. And I won't do that, even though I don't have any children. But, I'll pick a few. In fact, somebody else asked me the same question, so I guess I can split them up. I'll pick 2. My default answer is Super Mario World. I've loved that game. The first time I've ever played that was on the Game Boy Advance, because I'd never had a Nintendo system up until the GameCube came out, even several years after that. And I played the hell out of that on my Game Boy. I mean, I completed it to 100% twice. I think I maxed out everything I possibly could. All the lives. I think I got all the Dragon Coins as well. Although they can't keep track of that. I don't think so. I don't remember. I haven't played it in a while. But that's my default answer for favorite game ever. I think another one would be Metal Gear Solid 2. I remember the first time I played that. It was just insane. I loved the gameplay. I never played anything like that before, where you have to sneak around and do all that stuff. I felt a lot, and it was just amazing. I don't know why. And I did fall for the trick from Colonel Campbell. When he tells you to turn off the... I was playing on Xbox, so he said turn off... Well, I don't think it says a specific console. But he told you to turn off the system now because you've been playing too long. I did it twice, in fact. I feel completely stupid for doing that. I don't know why I decided to do that, but yeah. That was a great game. I love that game. It's probably my favorite of the first 3, even though I've never finished the first one. I'm sure a lot of people will yell at me for that. So there are 2 answers for my favorite game ever. Second up is, can you shoot the whoop? I don't know what that means. I typed it into YouTube and I came up with the laser collection, which if you don't know what that is, you can search for it yourself, but to my understanding, he's asking if I could shoot lasers from my mouth. Well, I could shoot a lot of stuff from my mouth, and I could shoot them from several different places. Take that to mean what you want it to. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will haunt me forever. Anyways, his third question is, do you like mudkips? Now, I've been advised by somebody else, my sister, in fact, not to answer this question, so my answer will be that I have no comment, and I'm not going to answer that. So there you go. Third up, is someone I didn't expect to ask me some questions, but I'm sure glad that he did. DuragonLeMente. He opens with, because I feel compelled to act like a retard and scar your mind. He has decided to ask me his questions. So first, off is, if you had a third nipple on your shoulder that lactates, what would you do with it? Well, being the good Samaritan that I am, I would feed puppies and kittens with it. And maybe some babies or something that are starving. I don't know. I mean, I've never had lactating nipples before, to my knowledge. So I wouldn't really know what to do with it, but I like my answer. Okay, second question. If a mega superhero copulated with a very retarded woman, would the kid be normal? I think it would be above normal. I mean, the superhero, mega superhero, would have mega super sperm and would, you know, knock all the DNA that contains retardedness and replace it with superhero-ness, and the kid would be like a superhero. Probably even more so than his dad. I don't know why. It seems to be that way with every anime series where the half-blooded people are more stronger than the full-blooded people. Well, I suppose a better way of saying this is, if Zeus were to have a child with a retarded human woman, then the child would still be a half-god, so there's your answer. I'll have a third question. Is it wrong to masturbate to My Little Pony? I'm just gonna assume that you're already doing that, Duragon, and it doesn't matter what I say, you will continue to do it, but I think if it makes you happy, then you should, you know, continue to do it. I mean, it's not hurting anybody, I'd hope. It did scar my mind a little bit just thinking about that now. So, I guess your mission is accomplished. He finished this off with, I feel accomplished now. I don't expect you to answer a damned one of those, I just felt like being weird. And then he congratulates me on getting 100 subscribers on my birthday. I forgot to mention that in this video, but yeah, that was a great present from the YouTubes, and I suppose the interwebs as a whole. In fact, Duragon, I have a little present for you if you're actually watching. I'm sorry, this might be a little bit terrible and scarring, which is what I'm going for. But here we go. La 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 la. So there you go, I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, next up is Demon Jester 44, who has 3 questions. 2 of them have been asked already. Demon Jester, why haven't you been paying attention? Anyways, favorite game of all time. Pick 2 different ones. I'm gonna say Thousand Arms has been one of my favorite games in recent memory. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of games that I love in the past, but these are the ones that come to mind. Thousand Arms, I've never finished it, but I've always loved it. It has one aspect of a genre that we never get to see in America, and that's a dating sim. And it's hilarious what the options, some of the options are, and the result of choosing them. And it's just, I don't know, I loved it. And I look forward to finishing it as well. And I'm going to be sharing that with everybody else who decides to watch my Let's Play of it. And I suppose another one of my favorite video games of all time, it's not a single video game, but it's a series, and that would be Pokemon. I started with the first one. I believe I had Red. I can't remember. Yeah, I think I had Red and my sister had Blue. And yeah, I've been there since the beginning, and I don't know, the collecting aspect is probably what appeals most to me. I just love collecting things, I don't know why. And I suppose the leveling up, doing all that, is part of my addictive personality. I love to go up levels, and you know, I don't know how to explain it. I'm very poor at wording stuff. So I'm going to end that question there. Second question, favorite gaming console? I don't like picking favorites. Why do people keep asking these difficult questions? If I had to pick a cop-out answer, I would pick the PlayStation 3 because it can play PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games, and it also has the PlayStation Store where you can get like a bunch of downloadable games, and they are great. It also has some great exclusives as well. And it doesn't break down all the time like a certain console. 360. Sorry. If I had to pick a serious answer though, I would have to pick the Game Boy, because as far as I know, that's the first system that I ever played. And it sucked a lot of batteries, and I think like most of the money went to batteries. It had a lot of great games. The first game that I've ever completed when I was 2.5, at least my mom says I was 2.5, I was probably a little bit younger than that, was Super Mario Land, which I believe is the launch title, and I played the hell out of that. I also played a lot of Donkey Kong for the Game Boy, otherwise known as Donkey Kong 94, and I don't know, it's just so awesome. I think everybody can agree that the Game Boy was a very great system. I loved it so much that in fact I had a backpack shaped like the big gray Game Boy, and on the screen it had a screenshot from Super Mario Land, and I would pretend that I would play it in my head, and then I had the buttons and stuff, and I would pretend that I was going on through the levels and stuff. And I guess that makes me sound very sad, doesn't it? But I was a kid, so I was just using my imagination. And yeah, I mean, the first major purchase that I ever made was buying a Game Boy Advance, and it was an Arctic White, I believe that's the name of it, and I can't remember, there was a problem or something, but I'm gonna forget about that. So yeah, that would be my favorite gaming console of all time. I'm not sure if that would count as a console, but that's my answer. I gave you 2 answers, so there you go. And Demon Chester's third and final question is, do you like mudkips? Again, I'm not going to answer that. I'm no comment on that. I'm just going to ignore that question altogether, except for the fact that I acknowledged it right there. Okay. Man, I'm not used to talking like this. Anyways,